The amendment is going to do is simply provide the circumstances by which the homeschool family needs to provide a proctor with respect to how many students versus how many proctors, so that the national testing organization, it meets their guidelines. So homeschool parents will be happy to do that, and this allows the LEA to ask them to participate and be proctors. Simple as that, and with that, I'm ready for the amendment if the chair is.
Thank you. Senator Buck Newton, do you have an amendment?
I move to amend the bill.
You may present the amendment. Speak on the amendment.
Yes, so Madam Chair, I'll just explain that if I could real quickly.
Sure.
It just, again, just explains the ground rules for when, if the homeschoolers come into the local high school to take a PSAT or an advanced placement course, if another proctor is needed under the guidelines of the testing agency, that homeschool family is required to give a mom or a dad to watch that test being taken.
Thank you. Do we have any discussion or questions on the amendment? Seeing none, Senator McInnes makes an a motion for adoption of the amendment. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? So the bill is back before us as amended. Senator Newton, do you have anything to add?
No further comments unless anybody has a question.
I have a.
Thank you. Senator Marcus.
Thank you. Senator, this bill didn't get as much attention because of the other bills today, but I am wondering, you mentioned that that this had been happening, and then prior to COVID,
prior to COVID, it was routine for homeschoolers to show up at their local high school and sit for the PSAT
right.
or the advanced placement exam. The local LEAs started shutting the doors during the pandemic, I guess ostensibly because of the pandemic, and they just got into that routine, and so they continued to not let homeschoolers in post-pandemic. DPI was aware of the situation, but they needed a bill from us to be able to say to the LEA, yeah, you got to let that homeschooler in. Homeschoolers pay all the fees. Nobody else, the tax dollars aren't paying for that, and they have to provide proctors if needed.
So,
Senator Marcus.
So my question was, do you have any understanding that you can share with the committee about why the policy was changed? Was it COVID safety that somehow just unknowingly got continued, or is there some other reason that the LEAs are saying this is a hardship because? Is there? I'm honestly just curious
why. I am not aware of any good reason why it continued. Spencer Mason is here with the Homeschool Association. He'd probably be able to answer that if you would like to hear a better answer to that question.
Let's call Spencer Mason. Please come to the podium for your public comment.
I'm Spencer Mason with North Carolinians for Home Education, and very few school districts will tell you why. The Durham County School District has said it's their policy not to allow anyone that's not enrolled in their schools to take those tests. And we've had other school districts that don't allow it, but they don't tell us why. Just to give you an example, we had one mom in Raleigh last year called me trying to find a place to take this test, or AP test for her daughter. She wanted to take 3 AP tests. She called every school in the Wake County, could not find one school that would let her in. She talked with a friend in South Carolina and found a school in Summerville that allowed her daughter to take the test. So she traveled down to Summerville. That's close to Charleston, South Carolina. So it's been extreme since the COVID. It was difficult before COVID, but now it's almost impossible.
Thank you. Senator Buck Newton has made a motion for a favorable report. We're at 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote.
Madam Chair, I didn't get a chance the last time because you cut me off. I do have a question this time.
Senator Robinson is recognized to speak.
Thank you. So, Senator Newton, what I asked a parent who came in to see me to support this was her request during the time that tests are being given. And so what I need to know, is this a request for setting up tests or just allowing the children to take them when they're being given?
It's the latter.
To allow them to take them.
Correct.
Thank you.
So Senator Buck Newton has made a motion for favorable to the bill as amended rolled into a proposed committee substitute with a favorable report to the committee substitute and an unfavorable report to the original bill with a referral to rules. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. The committee is adjourned.
Thank you, Madam Chair.